So what is Bitcoin? With all the recent hype going into the federal government and talking about stable coins and potentially a Bitcoin reserve fund. Congress has even talked about this. I mean, there was a video from a senator here recently about doing it. Even President Trump before the election talked about it. Before we go into like, creating some sort of a fund or an act, like it's so important to get the understanding of words and determine what Bitcoin is. What does it mean? So yesterday, I posted something on X. I just said, "What is Bitcoin?" All right, and I want to share some of the wide variety of answers that I got. There's so many different answers. All right, so let me just kind of break this down and why this is so important to like when we just talk about, oh, let's do a Bitcoin reserve, it can mean so many different things. So, give you an idea. What is Bitcoin? All right, so we got be love and be you. It's not a coincidence, whatever it is. Byte, B-Y-T-E. Byte equals bit. And then he says yes. Mort, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Cash without a middleman via the internet? I think he said yes after that. One Satoshi, Bailey. A Satoshi. I never thought about that. I said, wow. J Paps, Bitcoin is what Satoshi says it is. Joan Homer. Joe Con Homer. A digital asset that has increased a lot in value over time, a tool for speculation. Sounds reasonable. Time stamper. Sounds scary, but look at the bright side of this comment. It is the greatest track and trace system ever invented and will bring a whole new level of goodness to the world after the medicine actually goes down. Wow. People should know what Bitcoin is and capable of. Mohammed BSV. Sounds like where the confusion is. People don't know what Bitcoin is or how it's defined or what it's capable of. Racco. As a peer, you are Bitcoin. Few understand this. And that was really unique. As a peer, you are Bitcoin. You are Bitcoin. Few understand this. That's super deep. Racco. As a peer, you are Bitcoin. Peer to peer. Coin Simon, a GSM cell phone. GSM? Card Dexter. Read the white paper. Yeah. Richard Leach. Digital gold written in capital and lowercase letters with a clown face. Digital gold. Space Sherpa, prescient. Oh, and then I has this GIF here with Bill Clinton where he says, and it depends on what the meaning of the word is. And back in the 90s, he wouldn't testify before Congress, and Big Bill Clinton was they were hammering him on the Monica Lewinsky thing, and did you have sexual relationships with that women? Is this that? And he got really into the, if you read the actual transcript, I read the transcripts, like a 500-page transcript at some point. I remember reading it, and it's fascinating because the guy was a master with words and playing this word game, and he got down to, well, it depends on what the definition of is. Because is was being used in a sentence, and that could mean so many different things. So he couldn't quite answer the question properly because he didn't know what the definition was in the context of it. That's a very true, realistic, real world setting in front of the Congress back in the 90s that happened. And we're running into that now, but we can prevent it. We can prevent all that from happening so we don't run into problems later and say, whoa, it depends on what Bitcoin is. I mean, look at all these definitions so far. Definitions are everything. We demand clarity. SMS. Bitcoin is a bullet. This is Feebless. Jason Caraco. Bitcoin is a bulletproof trust system that allows users to send and receive transactions securely and anonymously without banks or central authorities. Mark Wolf, Bitcoin is a digital ledger that monetizes energy losses, lowering energy costs for businesses and residents fortunate enough to have a mining operation attached to their power plant. Then he has this picture here, which is a very fascinating graph. Looks like it's an AI graph. Grok. Emmanuel, a multi peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Brett Ryan Music. It is exactly what the white paper says it is. A peer-to-peer electronic cash. BSV is electronic cash. MJ, efficiency. Cameron Ruggles, an open public ledger that creates taxable events that is expensive and difficult for your accountant to categorize. 888 Quantum Financial System. It is the union of information and finance. Toysel, peer-to-peer electronic cash system. David Crypto. It is a currency system that exists on a massive distributed digital ledger. Ivan V. Time to look at Metallicus. Marshall Hayner, XPR, Metal Loan. Can you make a video on it, Gavin? It will be a great video, I think. Ivan V. Okay. I've thought about it. I did look into that on this. That's a separate topic, so I'm not going to address that right now. What is Bitcoin? Doesn't really have to do it, so I'm not going to answer that. But thank you for the comment. The power of now, P2P everything. What is Bitcoin? Total Henley, peer-to-peer currency. Text BSV, textbsv.com. Cool. Very cool. Man Agog, file, Bitcoin file. Carlos Gomezi. He has a video from Craig Wright saying the Bitcoin doco. Anything that can exist, talking about, basically Craig Wright defining what Bitcoin is. Dennis B, a payment system that eliminates the abuse of power associated with fiat money. BitCrash. It hasn't taken over the world payment system, so few know. It hasn't taken over the world payment system, so few know. Bitcoin, as defined in the white paper, a chain of digital signatures. NLB. Paul, Rhythmic Eye. A peer-to-peer electronic cash system utilizes triple-entry ledger technology to cryptographically secure electronic transactions on a time-stamped public ledger called blockchain. Each block contains information relating to multiple transactions occurring at specific times. Chief Naples, it's every tang and every tang you want. Probable spam. Pedro, it's a highly speculative software. Ketones, not glucones. Whoa. Offensive stuff. I'm not sure what that is. Additional replies, which offensive language. Okay, we won't go that. They've said bad language. Favel, pause to read the emails. BTC. Oh, wait, no. Isaac Morehouse. Bitcoin is a technocrat's dream. The only question is whether it was created to be or merely hijacked along the way. Nice. Favel, pause to read emails. Read the emails. BTC and Blockstream. This is a speculation based upon public information. If I or people close to me come to an untimely end, the people linked to the roof racket are responsible. Liz Crokin and others. Hmm, fascinating. Kurt, get ready for a fun one tomorrow. And he says he's got Mike Hearn from the original Bitcoin developer, original Bitcoin user and developer back in the day. Okay, hold on. That's all of them. So anyways, as you can see, there is a massive amount of answers on Bitcoin. We didn't get one. We never had one person say the same thing. Not one person. Maybe a couple people were saying peer-to-peer electronic cash. That was the only one that I think I saw that was in there twice. Otherwise, it was all different answers. So for me to say, oh, this is Bitcoin, or for Congress or the senator to say, oh, this is Bitcoin, it will be irresponsible for me. It has to be, we need a universal definition. We need a clearly defined in the law definition of Bitcoin before we move forward with anything Bitcoin in Congress or any act of executive orders or Bitcoin reserve fund or anything like that, dude, in law permanently. We must come together with a universal definition for what it means. All right. And I think a responsible place to start would be, well, let's go back to what it said in the paper. That would be a great place to start. Because that's where it was defined. I mean, so I would say that's definitely the first place to start. And then we go from there. All right. So we can go forward and say, all right, now what is Bic? We start the discussion. I think that's the smart. I believe it's the only place to start. You start the origin. All right. There's the paper. Now let's go to the words. What does it mean? What does it mean now when Congress or the people are going to invest in a Bitcoin fund? What the hell does that mean? These things got to be defined. All right. So I'm getting this out there to the YouTube sphere, into the minds of the executive branch power. At some point down the road, they want to see this and freaking get it in their consciousness, because we got to have this discussion. It's got to be defined in the law, in Congress, in a definition before it comes into law and a statute. What is Bitcoin? All right. Very, very important. Hit the ones. Subscribe if you haven't already. More to come. I got some cool shows coming up. I'm working on right now. Maybe Ty from Babbage, maybe Dimitri Tree Chat potentially. Ben at Senti Bernard, potentially doing a show with him. I've got the SF event, which is right now kind of uncertain. It's unclear. Potentially an event in April, but maybe in March. It's unclear right now, so I'm not going to say one way or the other. But some really cool stuff coming up. Hit the one, subscribe. My name's Gavin Mehl. I'll see you at the top. Later.